Inflation yesterday, 7%. That's the new report. 7%, highest it's been since 1982, 40-year high. And I'm looking at the prices of metals, and they are not moving. So what say you? Why is that happening?
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals, so make sure you blast that subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked. That way you get updated with any new content. Today, we're discussing inflation, and we're talking about how inflation and metals right now are interacting with one another, as that's pretty much the best way I could kind of put it. As you have seen in the news, many of you already know that inflation has hit 40-year highs, hasn't been 7% since 1982. This is very alarming. Now, a lot of us have already been following the fact that inflation has been going up each month, but now a lot of people have been surprised in the fact that it just hit 7%. I'm going to take a quick trip over to see Steve, my friend, the owner of US Coin Trust, and I really want to get his opinion on what is going on right now with the prices of metals and inflation.
All right, on my way to the coin shop, I am very curious to hear what Steve has to say with the recent inflation rate number of 7%. At the time of the recording of this video, it's 4 o'clock on Thursday, January 13th. And it was reported yesterday that we are now in 40-year highs of an inflation rate of 7%. So it's the highest it's been since 1982. And at the time of the recording of this video, the spot prices have stayed flat. Nothing changed with silver. We're sitting at around, oh man, I forget, what is it, 23 and change. And at the time of the recording of this video, gold was at like 1827 an ounce. Either way, whatever the exact number is, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I checked midday and it was relatively flat. I think gold was like down $2. But when it comes to the prices of precious metals like silver and gold, one would think that because of inflation, you would expect that the prices, across the board of everything are going up. It's very interesting. We're in a very strange time in which, you think that metals are going to do one thing and they do the opposite. So when the inflation numbers came out of 7%, my expectation would be that silver and gold would have gone up. It's still early yet. We may see spot prices start to creep up. We've been experiencing a dip right now, and so I'm hopeful that many of you at this current time have been taking advantage of some of those decreases in the prices of silver. And I've said before, dips, when a lot of people are talking about buying the dip, you need to be, in a time period where silver and gold have had a prolonged period of time in which the spot prices have gone down, because it's only then when things start to work themselves out in terms of the supply chain, when it comes to the premiums that the retailers are placing on the bullion that they are selling. You need for the prices of silver and gold in which they're acquiring the metals to stay low for a long period of time, because that's when you start getting them to compete with one another. You start seeing them reduce the prices of some of their silver and gold products. That's when you see an actual dip. So right now would be a good time to be buying silver and gold. I've been buying gold consistently for the last year and a half, but I would say right now is a good time to be buying gold. Silver too, a lot of people say that there's upside potential, and where we've seen silver flirting with $30 silver prices not too long ago, it's not really too far out of the realm of possibility that prices are going to go back up there. So is now the time to buy silver? Yeah, I think you should be buying silver. I don't necessarily think that you should be backing the truck up. I think that with silver and gold, you should always be buying slow and steadily. That's the name of the game. But like I said, I want to see what Steve has to say. So let's talk to him. Steven!
What's up, Stormy?
Take two. How you doing?
Six.
Take six. How are you?
Good, man. So we were talking about inflation.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about inflation now. We had a couple of things. Those of you that are watching the video, we had a couple technical issues we had to take care of. So here's the deal: inflation yesterday, 7%. That's the new report. 7%, highest it's been since 1982, 40-year high. And I'm looking at the prices of metals, and they are not moving. So what say you? Why is that happening?
Industry, right? Industry is broken right now. The supply chain is broken. It's like I said on the last video. Until that supply chain gets back together, and industry starts using those metals again, there's a 80-90% of the metals are going into industry, and they're just not being used right now. So there's a surplus, so you're going to have that. That's my opinion.
So would you say this is a time to buy in that case?
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. They're also saying that inflation is just going to continue to rise, right? So you would think, okay, if the costs of everything across the board is basically going up, then one would think, at some point the metals have to move.
I think that with that type of mentality in the beginning of this conversation is that most people think about buying metals in terms of a investment.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a great way to think about it. I think that you should be thinking about it in terms of a
store of wealth.
Yeah, preservation of wealth.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before on the channel. In the 60s, you could buy a house for $10,000. If you had bought gold, you would have bought 300 ounces of gold. Fast forward to today, right? So the three back in the 60s, same thing, $10,000 house and the gold. Fast forward to today, gold is worth $500,000 or $600,000. The house is worth $500,000 or $600,000, and the $10,000, you need 60 times the paper money to buy the same thing. It's not that the gold got more expensive,
right,
or the house got more expensive. It's just that the paper doesn't buy as much.
Right.
So that's inflation at its finest.
Right.
So when you're buying gold, you're locking your wealth at that time. It'll do the same thing 20 years from now as it did 20 years ago. So if you could follow the analogy.
Now, we are stacking this silver and gold stuff because the money that you possess, I'm not saying that it's worthless. A lot of people in the stacking community do say that it's worthless. However, it is definitely losing its value. Definitely losing its value. And the more and more value that our dollars lose, the more expensive the metals become. And not because the price of them are going up. It's the fact that it just takes more of these to acquire this stuff here. Now, I'm going to take a quick trip over to see Steve, my friend, the owner of US Coin Trust, and I really want to get his opinion on what is going on right now with the prices of metals and inflation. Are you too late to be buying silver and gold? In my opinion, no, you're not too late to buy silver and gold. I continue to buy gold. I just picked up these 1 ounce gold lion coins the other day. And these have a higher premium on them than your run of the mill, let's say, gold eagles, but it's not too late. It's not too late to get silver and gold. I do feel a lot more bullish with gold. I stack gold because there's not as much fluctuation when it comes to the prices. Silver, you're going to be in for more of a roller coaster ride, so I kind of don't really stack silver so much, but not too late. Don't be too concerned. However, if you are on the fence whether or not you should be buying, I really do believe now would be the time, because who knows how much higher inflation is going to go and what that is going to do to the prices of metals in the long term. And I would like to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't already become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, this is Empire Precious Metals. Until next time, long live the Empire.